Hi all. On this video I'm going to explain one of the most important tasks in the development life cycle, which is called as prioritization, and I'm going to explain one of the prioritization technique called as Moscow. And yeah, this is something which not only in the development life cycle we can actually apply to the activities which we need to perform in a day to understand which is really more important to us, and that is called as prioritization. So let's see what Moscow is. So let's try and understand why do we even need to prioritize anything. So let's take an example in the daily life where we have a bunch of tasks. Ideally, one will have enough time and energy to cover all of them, but it's just that the number of tasks is really huge and the resources available is not in abundance. So that's where prioritization comes in. And nobody can do everything at the same time, which is why people define themselves by their priorities. So prioritization is the process of determining what is really most important to be done. While at first glance you may be tempted to make everything as high or urgent priority, but one should be really cautious. If everything is urgent, then everything loses its urgency, and if everything is important, then nothing is really most important. And in the current day situation of the software developers, or be it anybody, you get requests from multiple channels. You work in different time zones, you have multiple stakeholders to whom you'll have to listen. So gone are the days when we used to really plan things for an year or 6 months. These days we plan for a month, week, and even daily. So that means priorities keep on changing every hour. So working faster is not the solution right now. Instead, working on the right task is really essential and important. So let's see what Moscow is, which is one of the prioritization techniques which most of the software development companies follow. So it basically has categories like must have, should have, could have, and won't have, where we place the requirements or the tasks which we need to accomplish over a period of time. So yeah, let's see what it is in detail. So let's understand what the must-have category has. So this particular bucket has the features which are absolutely critical to the project. Without them, the delivery will be a failure. Now, these are considered to be the top priority requirements which would be there on the backlog. So I should say the product inception depends entirely on defining the must-have items. We generally tag all of these requirements with the pointers like this one is required for the launching, this one is required for the safety, this one is required for the validation, and this is required for a viable solution. So yeah, the question is, can we really move forward with the project if a particular task is not done on this list? Now if the answer is no, we should say it falls under the must have category. And let's see what the should have category is. Now these requirements are considered as a secondary priority, and the should have items do not really affect the launch pad and traditionally are considered important but not really crucial. So they differ from must haves by the availability of a workaround. Therefore the failure of a should have task is unlikely to cause the failure of the entire project, unlike a must have item. So the question is, can we move forward with the project with this task? Is if this particular task can be done a bit later? Then if the answer is yes, it's a should, and if the answer is no, it should become a must. And what is a could have category? Now, these features are nice to have and would make a great addition to the project, but they really need not be picked up as a priority. If there is time, we can consider working on them or adding them to the to-do list. So the next requirement is less important than the two previous ones, but still wanted. Now, if we compare could haves with should haves, the former is defined by a lower degree of adverse effect if we do not consider to do it, right? So basically that means when if you're not doing a could have item, the impact which would be there when we compare it with the impact of should have item when not done is really less. So can we do not pick these tasks till the deadline? And if the answer is yes, it should be a could, and if the answer is no, it should become a should have item. And what is a won't have category? And see, all the initiatives which you really want to take up can be placed in the won't have category. So we can prioritize them in the future, while others, some of this won't have category never happen at all, and it really does not matter to the project. So can we back to it when things go better? Yeah, if yes, then it's a won't have. So yeah, this was a short video on the four categories of the Moscow prioritization. So as a Scrum Master, when I was attending interviews, there were a good number of questions based on this prioritization, and some of them I have just listed on the the video. Like, have you involved in the prioritization process in the role of Scrum Master? And how do you help the product owner in prioritization? And what other techniques of prioritization do you know? And at what stage of the development cycle is Moscow really used? And the most important question you guys need to understand and actually learn is what percentage of must, should, and could have items or the requirements from the backlog should be considered while planning the work in a specific time frame, and because it's agile, in a specific sprint. Now, if you are good with these questions and have got an understanding on the four categories, yeah, I think you're good with the prioritization process. You can crack on the interview. Hope this video was informative. Do like, comment, and share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.